Hey everybody, Alex here with Momentum Charting. Welcome to another episode. Today we are going to be discussing the VIXY. Before we do that, please, if you have not yet done so, jump down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Doing both of those things will ensure that YouTube continues to show my content and update you as soon as the latest videos are available for your viewing pleasure. So, with that out of the way, we've got some important stuff going on here in the market, I think, right now, guys. So I'm here in TradingView as usual. VIXY is the ticker, which is a proxy for the volatility index. And obviously, you most likely know that when volatility starts to increase heavily in the market, markets tend to drop significantly. That is the increased volatility, and when volatility is going down consistently, that is when we have periods of melt-ups in the market. So, increased volatility, bad for overall markets. If you're a bear, obviously you want increased volatility. So, here on the 1 hour, and it doesn't appear at first glance there is a whole lot of significance going on here. The one thing you can say, since the period of late May, around May 24th, May 25th, we have been creating this series of lower lows, right? And here we had that little tick lower low, but then here you can very clearly see that we appear to be forming some sort of a base, which hasn't happened since May. And this is the potential first warning sign to me of a liftoff, a potential liftoff in the volatility index. You came down here in June 28th, peaked up, and then came down here to the same level. Before that, May, you keep going lower, 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 right? And then here we're back at the same levels, 2362, and then appear to be coming up again to test this downward sloping resistance. A break of this line here with a back test and a series of higher lows would also be significant to me and signal a potential breakout in the volatility index. So that is the first interesting little tidbit we're looking at in the VIXY. And you compound this. Well, let's talk about that towards the end of the video. So that is the 1 hour I've got on our main trend chart. But then I want to jump over to the momentum chart, and we'll start here on the 4 hour. Remember, this is the VIXY proxy for the VIX. This starts going up, signals trouble ahead for the market. So we've really had our very first series of positive divergent bottoms here in the VIXY since it's been quite a long time, since the December 19th to August 2020 is what I would argue, and then you started getting these series of higher lows, obviously in the COVID crash of early 2020. But if you look here, you've got this positive divergent bottom right here in December 4th, 2020, and then again here in April. And since then, the VIXY is pushing up to the upside. This, to me right now, is a little bit of a scary formation. The only thing that would really appease that to me in the short term is for that to come up here, tag this downward sloping trend line, and break down out of this support. Okay? But if the opposite were to occur and we keep getting this series of higher lows, break out through this downward sloping trend line on the 4 hour and continue up higher, this to me is a fairly significant warning sign in the market. And what I was talking about on the 1 hour chart, if you haven't seen it yet, Go ahead and watch my video from today, 7/16 on the QQQ index, and why it really looked to me like the next couple of weeks we could start seeing some potentially nasty volatility developing in the market, and that was just analyzing the chart of the Qs. So if you haven't seen it, watch this. But now I'm over here actually on the volatility index, and everything I was sort of seeing in the charts of the Qs is also you can kind of get a clearer picture of seeing what's potentially going to be a very nasty and very volatile, at least, you know, perhaps not necessarily next week, but the next couple of weeks here. If this trend starts developing a series of higher lows and we get a breakout of this point since September 20th, I believe this could lead to potentially pretty bad things in the overall market. So we are going to have to watch this very, very, very carefully to see how this develops. The base that's formed here in the VIXY since June, and then early middle of this month to now, starting to push to the upside again. Potential break out of this downward sloping trend line. So that's the 4 hour. But if we dig in here to the 1 hour, you can see the just awful trend move to the upside just continues. As a matter of fact, on the 1 hour, we've got like this series of positive divergent lows since June of last year. So almost a year in development this has been. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like maybe almost 5. So between 4 and 5 positive divergent bottoms. This 1 hour still pushing up strongly to the upside. You can see here I've got this trend line in place. This one here from November 2020 hit in April of this year, still pushing to the upside, and what appears to be even this higher degree momentum support line pushing to the upside. And I'm not seeing any anywhere as of yet where this is slowing down this increased volatility, and this is starting to look potentially even a little bit worse than I was originally thinking with the Qs. I thought yes, we were going to dip and then start heading right back up. I don't know. I'm hoping that's the case, but as I said in the video of the Qs, we just have to keep up on all this stuff and let the charts speak to us, and the charts and the market tell us exactly what's going on. That's why it's important, after you're done watching this video, you go down and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get all the updates. I'm going to be continually updating the Qs and watching this VIXY very closely over the next week and change to see if it indeed continues to the upside, or if we end up getting some breakdown out of this channel, out of the support line, which would be a relief for the market. Markets could continue up in earnest if that were to happen. But guys, I don't know right now if that is going to be the case. This is just looking pretty nasty here on both the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and then we'll even dive in here to the 15-minute. Yeah, this does not look good. Okay, we are about ready to clear the zero line here, and just got this beautiful setup since May, pushing up higher, pushing up higher. And this VIXY starts trending here above zero and following this trend line up. This could start getting pretty messy and pretty nasty for the markets. Okay, so this is the depending on where you're at, if you're a bear, bull, I don't know. I myself am a bull in the markets. I always like to see markets continuing up, but I'm just going with the evidence that I'm seeing here from the VIXY chart and the Qs, and things are really signaling to me right now we need to be very, very cautious, very, very careful. Watch carefully what's happening here on the volatility index. Watch carefully the upticking SQQQ, which is the inverse of the Qs. Watch what looks like a breaking down of the Qs. We need to put all this stuff together and see what the potential upside of this volatility index and the potential downside of the market's going to be here. Again, I'm hoping this all resolves itself sooner rather than later, but I don't know. We just, as I always say, you need to let the market speak with you. You need to follow along with what they're telling you has happened. Try not to have any predisposed ideas, or yeah, you can. It's always a good idea to make a plan, but you need to be flexible, and most importantly, listen to what the markets are telling you. And right now, to me, markets are telling me we need to be very, very cautious, very, very careful in the upcoming weeks. Markets are telling me that, and now having a closer look at the volatility index, it happens to be telling me the exact same thing. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to get all the updates I do on the volatility index the next couple weeks. Yeah, going to have some really important updates over the next 10-15 trading days. So make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see everybody again shortly in the next update video. Thank you, and goodbye for now.